straight up hell realm. I'm gonna say this right now, the view from this apartment is fucking awesome. It is just so fucking nice to have an apartment, a place to call my own. The hell realm right there. It's 125 hertz, 1185 hertz to get people out of hell realms, and 150 fucking frequencies, 156 hertz out of spirit jars. This is just, I just can't get over it. You know, I'm just very elated with what I got. I was cooking yesterday. My consciousness was so fucked up I couldn't do a video. Had a lot of my shit removed, almost my main, and my dark ass eyes. Here I am, like a hippie. Got my ice shirt, MAGA hat. So a friend was asking me about the deportations. I ain't worried about that. I'm worried about my spiritual issues and getting this curse off of me and getting back to the person that I used to be. And I keep talking about broken timelines, but look at how beautiful it is. This is just awesome. I feel, you know, I know from what I know in the spirit world, I should have a lot more, but this is just awesome. Got a closet. This is a lot better than what I had when I used to have my little small efficiency in Miracle Mile. This is 10 times better. Got a beautiful view of the city. This is, I know I'm all fucked up right now spiritually, but I'm just going to say that this is really, really awesome. And this is something that's great to have. Had my consciousness mixed up with that woman's in the spirit plane. And I couldn't post anything about frequency because that lady was going to use it against me and my ancestors. I had the ancestry practice Ifa as well as Bear Samedi. And Marie Laveau I saw, you know, try to come through to help out and put me back, as well as my Cometian Egyptian ancestors. I saw Anubis, Nefertiti, Cleopatra. That's why I haven't been making videos for the past couple of days. My ancestors, what is this? That's a star. Yeah, that is a star. So nice to have home cooked meals. I feel her fucking with my shit right now. You know, it's crazy how you have motherfuckers greedy for what you got on your body in the spirit plane, the way they'll steal it, you know, reincarnating and all of that. That's why I wear my tiger's eye. I need to get like Buddhist beads in the future, but I used to have one around my, whatchamacallit. Look at this nice full kitchenette I got. Didn't have this before, and I don't even use it. I just wash everything in the sink. Got this couch at the shelter where I was staying at. I was expecting to jump in. It's dark as a motherfucker, but I was expecting to jump in that very, what they call it. You know, my father in the spirit plane, I think going back to the August 22nd, 2022 timeline has been helping. His God self and all of that, but with that being said, I was expecting it not to be furnished. You know, this is how nice it is. It's just, it's incredulous. You know, God got stuff already. You know, I didn't have to get this. Did I? No, they don't have knives. Yeah, they do. Didn't have to get it. Down to like $40, which is good. I spent a lot of it on food. I went to Food for Less. But anyways, I thought it would have to be furnished. And so I delayed you know, I was going to delay for another day, you know, before moving out the shelter, moving in. And when I came here, I'm like, this is like a fucking dream. Got microwave, got amenities already here on deck. You know, but it's tough having this evil shit on you and knowing, you know, having the weight of what you know, your knowledge on what's spiritually going on with you, what's going on around you on you, it's hard to deal with. I had to, I couldn't use frequency. I had to call in ancestors to put me back, and they've been trying. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end it by saying, I'm in a good place physically, but spiritually and mentally, I'm not. I'm far from it. You can see it in my eyes. I don't drink. Let me show you my fridge. We got food here. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't do anything like that. I keep getting warnings from that evil bitch in the spirit plane. If I do anything with frequency, she's gonna use it to fuck up my consciousness when I'm trying to get shit back. But anyways, with that being said, I already came with this. This is a dream in the bed. I was expecting to get like a little futon that I could sleep on the floor. I didn't expect all of this. So, with that being said, the song by Michael Jackson's playing in my head. He actually got Commission ancestors. This bust statue shows it. I felt the energy today when they were putting me back. They were showing me ancient Kemet, their ways, how they were. It was total crystalline, highly advanced spiritually society, and they used their bodies for teleportation, for movement, to go around. It's exactly like a lot of Afrocentrics visualize it. I'm not Afrocentric, by the way. I spew my truth. I spew from what I know, from what I see. I'm not somebody that's given to hyperbole or prejudice or bias. I will call a motherfucker out. I'm an equal opportunity racist. But they were showing me a lot of things. And I felt it. So with that being said, this is really, 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 really nice. I don't have much in the way of food, but like I was saying before, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't do none of that. I just chill, really work in the spirit plane trying to get this. It's more than just getting this shit off. It's like, it's a major leap of faith. You can use 808 hertz. To get back in your body. It was actually one of the frequencies that your boy, Kanye West, the reptilian that's in his body, and I was shown what he had gone through. He went through like a dream process when they had him in that UCLA hospital. He woke up in the roach room being eaten by giant roaches, and it was made to feel like it was a dream. And then he proceeded to wake up in a very dystopian society. It was something where I think it was some old society. He woke up in the 1800s, and then that's when they placed him in the lower 3D. You have different aspects of the 3D. You got the lower, you got the higher, and then you got the medium. He got placed in the lower 3D. Decorate this, and I'm going to get some of my paintings when I can get an Uber that I had from high school. So it don't look all sparse. This is just nice. I can't get over it. But they put him in the roach realm right before they soul swapped him. And he lives, from what I understand, in an RV in that timeline. He lives, I think, right off the PCH, if I'm not mistaken. I was stomping grounds right before all this shit happened. And very, very poor. Really, really poor. He ain't in a good place. And, you know, it's just like with Adele, you know, from what I understand, Adele, Black China, and all of them, they got soul swapped. You know, that's why Black China looked the way she do. That don't look like a fucking person. I mean, even before this curse befell me, I could tell that's not her in that body. That looks like at best a clone. Funny too, that last video I just made ended at 333, which is coming full circle. I think it has bad connotations for me. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and say that, you know, I'm trying to figure out how to, they got to have hyper advanced technology for this, how the fuck you can sire a child with a clone. You know, a lot of times those kids don't even look like the babies when they were born. It's just kind of like with Blue Ivy. They look like totally different kids. And, you know, from what I understand, your boy Jay-Z put her on with the Illuminati, had her go through a similar sex ritual like Angelina Jolie discusses here.
It's like I would film things like that. I would encourage like everybody, all different types of sexual. But there is that thing where it's like a lot of people misunderstand me with S&M and they think it's super. And I have to like explain to people how, like, where it's more like you're tied down because you need to like be able to like have somebody hold you down and keep you still, or like you fight to have something down, or like be able to heal once you're beaten, like, or something. It's like it comes from that real place of like, you know, as opposed to being accessories or something. It's like with tattoos and things. Like I've never always gotten them. There's like that time where everybody's like, oh, I have tattoos, and after a while, you're like, you can explain them and they can mean it. It's just comes from that real place. Yeah, I don't know. I only saw that film she brought over that night. People were like darker. Like
She got raped. You know, I've seen him going back to that August 22nd, 2022 timeline in my timelines, along with the Illuminati. It also harkens back to, now I'm going to say this right now, back in 1991, Jay-Z was not on. He wasn't a well-known figure, prominent, conspicuous. I used to have recurring visions of me and a bunch of kids waiting backstage after a show of his, and I got the feeling of MK Ultra and sex child trafficking. So from what I understand, through his and my Baphomet and doing the fucked up agreement with my God, not my father's, but that's like, and the other motherfucker, they made an agreement to keep me stuck in to put me under heavy curses so he could come up along with those kids. He stole their blessings is what I'm trying to get at. Like, I'm gonna say something right now. I'm a very good artist. I can draw very, very well, and turn on the fan. When I was growing up, you know, I should have been a child prodigy. Let me get the notebook. 1264. I felt that bitch try to remove one of my entity attachments. It's like nothing I say or do stops her. I would have to get her picture to stop her. This isn't good. But these right here, I did it when I was staying at a shelter. And it's funny too. Like Picasso painting a little bit. I was told as part of this curse so that I would be stuck in shelters. This is very pretty Saturn. In the spirit plane, a lot of planets are alive. And they're very sentient. And we're born under them. And they can help you when you're in, you know, spiritual or going through spiritual tribulations or anything, you know, anything. They can help you. They're they're cognizant beings. I think I was born, mine is Jupiter, which is a very powerful planet. Saturn, I know, I think it's either Jupiter or Saturn. But for Saturn, you go through a lot of trials and tribulations just to, you know, get good outcomes. You know, for me, in numerology, the number 4 represents hard endings, terrible endings, and new beginnings. I forgot what I used to say because my consciousness is so frayed and fucked up. This is just so nice. But anyways, with that being said, I used to go through, and I've been through hell. And it's funny, I've never seen a silver lining. It's just been curses upon curses. Hate to say, starting with Baron Samedi, who wasn't that bad. And I was shown I had supposedly the energy harvesting I wasn't allowed to feel. It was worse with him. But he's been helping to put me back, so that's what matters. But this shit here, where they have you feel, they got you feeling it. But he had like a lot of my blessings in from what I was shown. I'm trying to remember. Consciousness is so fucked up. It was inside a military artillery, like whatchamacallit, where I was blocked from seeing what was going on, and I lost a major soul piece. If I knew what I knew now about what was coming in 2022, I would have got a cleansing. I had so many people, but in a very bully-like, judgmental manner try to tell me you under heavy curses. And I couldn't see what they were talking about. I couldn't see it. For that Hike thing, if I'm not mistaken, they, you know, were putting, you know, my grandmother, the sacrifice curse, Dorothy. It was as sweet as pies as they coming, from what I understand. I think coming from the future, due to what's happening with me, she befell a curse. You know, I saw that with my father here, where he's supposed to become this evil entity called Theriel. I keep seeing him entrapped with the Illuminati in them timelines. That's why I'm very perspicacious about keeping my body intact so I can keep in contact with Napoleon Williams Jr. Linda Williams, and getting this bitch, this Maria Paraffin, high self wetbag motherfucker off of me. You know, I'd be screaming and crying every single fucking night in my sleep having to deal with this motherfucker, and then getting, not bullied, but there's a word for it where somebody is not blackmailed, But where I suffer, where I get it's not bullying, but where and it's not blackmail. You know, the most odious thing about this curse is because she's then parasitically taken over, however, non-consensually is my highest self, I'm blocked from getting any spiritual protection from angels, gods, and so forth. You know, my God got mixed with hers, and when I was trying to get something back, he kept, you know, fucking shit up. But intimidated, I don't think that's not the right word. Intimidated, I think is more accurate, though. It's more apt. That's not the word I'm looking for. Into not doing videos and talking about her. That's exactly what she was going to do. I felt to just now use my God, my connection to God and all of that against me. So with that being said, this bitch then took my soul consciousness, took that over, took over a lot of my shit that's on my body, my spirit body. So with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and say for the record, that, you know, the other shit is bad, but this is like a major, tall fucking order. Yeah, she kept intimidating me, and I kept trying to figure out how. And she keeps manipulating people in the spirit plane to get rid of my... Yeah, so with that being said, as I was saying before, you know, it's kind of like, you know, when you get soul swapped, it's kind of like a tall order. You know, unfortunately, the phone desisted when I was, I thought that was a little apartment over there with smoke coming out. That's a tall order. You know, the stuff that I'm dealing with now is nothing to be playing with. There was a lot more that I wanted to say. You know, like I said, as I was saying right before the camera cut off, you know, this is what I was trying to articulate, and I articulated it a lot better than what I'm doing now. I saw the Illuminati in my timelines, as I've said before. You know, from what I've seen, Maria Paraffin is, you know, in the lust for fame and fortune and wealth, helping him. And, you know, from what I said, I articulated something, I articulated it perfectly. I'm just going to say that I've seen those timelines. And I've seen my parents in them timelines. You know, I was trying to show pictures of my people just now. You know, Napoleon Williams Jr., you know, my father who's been helping me out in the spirit plane as much as he can industriously. My mother, Linda Williams, you know, Kristen and all of them. You know, this bad bitch in the spirit plane, from what I was shown, I mean, from what I saw through my third eye, from what I felt, from what I've had visions, you know, I'm just going to say I got soul swapped. Something ain't right. Something hasn't been right. And then another event happened on May the 1st, 2024. With that being said, I'm trying to get my thoughts together. I'm sorry, my consciousness is so fucked up, it's not even funny. You know, as I said before, you know, from what I've seen, she's using my entity attachments of God and all of that against me, after taking over my soul consciousness and all of that. I'm just trying to, I worded it perfectly right before, you know, the video couldn't, you know, I guess it ended at a certain point. But as I said before, I know I sound like a broken record, I've seen the Illuminati in my timelines. I've seen my parents and what's going on with them in their timeline, that August 22nd, 2022 timeline. 694 hertz, 695 hertz can help you see, or you can use your third eye, just like they did in Kemet. And they're all stuck in hell realms, physically. My brother Kerry got killed off. My brother Kristen got sacrificed, from what I was shown. From what I heard and from what I was shown, because I don't just listen to spirits. They got placed under heavy curses themselves to kill them off. And that's traumatizing, and that's stressful to know. And that's what I call a tall order to deal with. You know, when I deal with trauma, I don't show it. And I'll, you know, if it's not obvious, I go into denial. It's hard for me to deal with it, and I hear their cries. This is what I wanted to say when I was staying at one shelter. When I was staying at one shelter one night, you know, I can't deny what I felt and saw. I saw my parents going back to that timeline, get abducted by the Illuminati and get tortured to this day. And they do something to confuse you. So by manipulating, it's something to do, I think, with soul consciousness. They'll manipulate. This bitch is like pulling out my heart right now on my spirit body. I felt that just now, that Maria Paraffin. When it's like whenever I'm about to reveal something about her, do a video about her, she'll fuck with my consciousness, manipulate it, because she's been taking over a lot of it, took a lot of it in the spirit plane. And will torment me and torture me about how she took it. She's a very evil, sadistic, wetback ass bitch. But anyways, going back to that timeline, and she uses my soul consciousness in large part. You know, I can hear her moving around in it, and even took a lot of it, so she could fuck me up, fuck with me. I can hear her speaking in it, moving around in it, tormenting me. She tried to take the whole thing the other night. And my father and Baron Samity and them blocked it. I'm also going to mention, too, as well, I remember having a dream where she had stole his top hat as well as his suit. And I remember hearing her in her Santa Muerte, because, you know, the way Santa Muerte works, she was one of the first gods to help me out with this curse. But, you know, she's part of the Mexican Oversoul consciousness. She's not somebody who ever lived, like Oshun or Ogun or Baron Samity. She's what they call a topa in Tibetan Buddhist philosophy, a thought form. She's only as good as your highest self. She has to click with your highest self. Like Baron Samity could be your highest self on his own. So can Oshun and Ogun, and I've had them experiences. But she has to clasp onto your higher self to have any meat to her. But I heard her talking with her Santa Muerte about taking Baron Samity's as well as my ancestral money. And I just felt something try to choke me just now. It's not dramatic, but something pulls something out of my spirit body. I feel like it's her. Probably using one of my entity attachments or soul consciousness to manipulate me. And then if I push it away or something, it'll have a really fucked up effect because it's a part of me. It's an attachment meant to keep my body going, and she knows it. So she uses my own entity attachments to torment and fuck with me. With that being said, you know, like I said, it's just, you know, something happened on May the 1st, 2024, because I got placed on this wetback bitch's death curse. Here they are again. Being said, I'm going to say this. I've seen the Illuminati in my timelines. As I said before, it has something to do with, I don't know if I mentioned this, but when I was young, I used to have recurrent visions of Jay-Z and me and a bunch of kids meeting with him backstage. And from what I understand, this is back in 91. He blew up in 97. He stole our blessings. That's what that represented. And from what I understand, he took my Baphomet through an agreement with my God. And so in those Illuminati timelines, I've seen him. And from what I understand, in that timeline, my brother, Kristen, who was a firefighter here, you know, as I said before, in that timeline, you can use 694, 695 hertz to see, they got placed under heavy curses. So it's not just me that got impacted by these curses, it's them as well, and they all died. They're no longer alive in them timelines. You know, I explained it a lot better non-schizophrenically in the video that unfortunately couldn't go through. With that being said, from what I saw, they all got placed in hell rounds. And they all got sacrificed right along with me, going back to that August the 22nd, 2022 timeline. I've seen that timeline. I felt it. I felt the people in it. I felt the presence. I'm no longer there. And my family isn't there. It's drastically different from the days of when I used to be chilling in my car on a PCH, chilling in my van.